My name is Lisa Jones, and I have been married to my husband David for 15 years, and we are blessed enough to have three wonderful boys. Justin, he's 19, Ryan's 13, and Kate is 10. And we also had custody of my husband's niece, Rose, through school, and she's now 20 and has a son that's almost 2 next month. My son, Justin, his senior year, he had decided to move out the last 2 months of his senior year and to move in with his dad. And he was 18, and so there wasn't really anything that I could do. And so we kind of knew. I kind of knew that God needed to teach him something, and I needed to kind of let go and let God be the one to teach him. It all kind of happened at the same time when we had a missionary come to our church. And he had talked about miracles that were happening where he was and where he lived. And he spoke about a woman that had AIDS, full-blown AIDS, and she was on medication for it. And I probably hope I don't get the story all messed up, but it had to do with that she had AIDS and was sent home basically without her medication because she was so sick, and she was sent home to basically just die without this medication. And how the pastor of the community had came and prayed for her, and the women in the community prayed for her, and she started getting stronger. And anyway, she had going back to the hospital to get her medicine because she was feeling stronger, and she was she had no virus left in her. I mean, God had totally healed her. And also, he spoke of men that had legs that were crippled and that they were straightening in front of people's eyes. I mean, it was just like these miraculous, huge miracles that were going on today. David and I went home, and I was talking to David. I was like, I don't get why we don't see those kind of things. I mean, we don't, it's not like right here in our face, huge miracles happening. And is it because of our lack of faith, The next month I had a doctor's appointment, and I went into my doctor's appointment, and she had asked me how long I had this lump on my throat, and it was on my right side. And I didn't know I had a lump on my throat, and she gave me a mirror, and I looked at it, and I couldn't believe it was huge that I hadn't noticed it. My friend Elisa, who is a cancer survivor, and she's just one of my best friends, she went with me to my ultrasound because I knew that she would know the right questions to ask. I wasn't thinking cancer at the time at all. I got the results back from my doctor. She had called and said definitely was a tumor, 4 centimeters in solid. We already knew that, but she said that I needed to follow up with a needle biopsy just to confirm whether it was benign or cancerous. I did a biopsy, and she told me that she would have the results back in a week and that she would call me. But the prognosis was really good, that if it was contained on just my thyroid, that it would be easy to cure. So 2 days later, not the week, it was Friday night at 5:30. I was still at work, and I got a call on my cell phone, and it was my surgeon, and she said that it wasn't really the news that she wanted to give me, but that it was cancerous. All I could think about was the drive home to tell my husband. I didn't want to call and tell him on the phone. I didn't want to drive because I was a little. So I just sat in my office in the dark and prayed. And my husband and I went and saw the doctor. And I asked her, I said, is there any way that I do not have cancer? She said, no, you have cancer. She said, Lisa, you have a strain. It's called papillary carcinoma. So the next step was that they had to schedule surgery. She wanted to have a surgery within 2 weeks to get it out. And what the process was going to be was during the surgery, they were going to take out half my thyroid, do a biopsy right then to determine the strain of cancer that I had. Just to make sure. They thought it was papillary carcinoma, but they wanted to confirm it. And then during my surgery, they would do an actual biopsy then, and then depending on what came back as, they would have to either they were planning on taking out my entire thyroid. So many friends prayed for me during this time. I mean, it's overwhelming, and it's really overwhelming. And I had people, I think every single day, somebody was calling me, praying with me over the phone, and just calling me or sending me a note saying, hey, I prayed for you, you're going to be fine. The day of my surgery, Pastor Luke had called me and asked me if it would be okay if him and Pastor Binky, came and prayed for me at the hospital. And I thought, sure, obviously that's amazing. So David and I got to the hospital, and my friend Elisa was there. And Pastor Luke and Pastor Binky had shown up, and the 5 of us prayed in the lobby at the hospital, and I just had this calmness.